What's going on YouTube? It's Donnie all day. I got a pair of knives. A pair of knives. Now, these are going to be from Mossy Oak, and these are absolute budget survival. And the cool thing is you buy these in the pair. It's not like, I'm pretty sure you can buy them individually, but they come in a set. And the price is for one of them, but you get both of them, which is kind of crazy. It's $17.99. $17.99 for knives that you can bring into the woods and actually use. That's kind of crazy. This is not something you see every day. Let's see if we can't get into some of the specs on this thing. So let's see, the straight edge hunting knife. Now, they come with nylon sheaths. Nothing crazy special, but it's a way to keep the cost down, and it does the job. It holds it in there. It's actually built really well. It's a hard-lined sheath. Can't go wrong with that. So this is the straight edge knife, and the other one is the gut hook, and I'll show you. This one has a total length of 10 3/8 inches with a 5 1/8 inch blade. The gut hook has an overall length of 9 3/8 inches with a 4 1/4 inch blade. So you can see, obviously, this is called a gut hook, and what that does is you can put it, if you have to dress a deer, you put it in, you make a little hole, you put this in, and you rip the seam, and it makes it easy. Another thing you can use this for is fishing. You can use it for gut hooking a fish, or you can use it for line cutting, which is really good. So it actually has multiple uses. Now the little ramps right here give you a really good thumb grab going forward and a good pull coming backward. So if you are doing like tight work, especially here, boom, boom, boom. If you have to do any kind of whittling, shaving, or just precise cutting, that little ramp actually makes a difference. Now you have this little hole here, and a lot of people would see the hole and have no idea what it's for. You have multiple uses out of this hole. It's good for wire bending. Like, let's say you have a chicken coop or a little farm or just a little fence going around, then your fence comes apart and you need to put a wire in there and twist it together. You can put a wire in here and twist and then pull it out. It's really good for that. Another thing that these are good for, especially one like this, if you have a stick and you're out in the woods, especially if you have a screwdriver, you could take off your scales, make it a nice thin profile, mount this to a stick, and then you can use this and this as tie downs to make a spear, which is great. Another thing you can use it for is if you have some cordage, you put your cordage through here. If you are setting up a camp where you need to make a lean-to, or you just need to make some kind of tarp tent, and you need a line over a branch coming down, you can use it like a grappling hook almost, where you put a line through here, you throw this over whatever branch you're talking about, and then you let the weight pull itself down while you're holding the line on the other side, and now you can bring your line out. It's the dumbest stuff, but it actually really works for that. I've done displays where I've tied blades onto sticks and used them as spears, and it's wonderful. It actually really does work. So they both have the same hollow grind, right? They both have the same edge geometry. The difference is blade shape. So what I'm going to do is I'll take this one out, the gut hook, and we will go out and see how it performs. It would be kind of redundant to do that with both of them because they're both the exact same edge. And it's going to give you a really good idea of what you're getting for $17.99 for two knives. This is literally, you can find all day a knife like this, but for $15 to $20 all day long. But you're getting two of them. And I'm going to put the Amazon link down below so you can check it out. All right, so let's give this thing a good look over in the light. Now you can see with these scales, I believe it's G10. It's kind of like a real tree pattern, and I am no fan of real tree stuff. I cannot stand it. But what I like about this is it's so condensed, it looks more like stone. It's almost like a sandstone or something, or a granite. And I think that's kind of cool looking right there. The grip itself, now my hands, remember my hands are XX. So I have really, really big hands. For somebody with extra large hands and smaller, this is going to be insanely comfortable. You can see the grooves here are done really well. Where I have my problem is my pinky is on top of this in my regular grip. So if it was just a little bit longer, then I would have a really, really great time with this knife. However, even with my pinky on top of it, it goes all the way to the end of the grip. So I'm still okay. I still have a full grip. Let's see if I can get any twisting done. I cannot. I can't turn the blade. I can't pull the blade out. So that's good. It offers a really good lock, even when your hands are bigger than the grip. All right, let's do a couple of 4-foot gravity drops, and we'll see how this thing is going to bite into the wood. Man, that was actually pretty nice. That's about a 1/4 inch. Let's see, hopefully you guys can see that. I'm only seeing glare, but it's right there. It's about a 1/4 inch of bite on a straight drop. Let's do a couple hard downward throws and we'll see how that goes. My head is in a tree. Oh, that one rolled. That went really deep too. It just rolled out. That's crazy. I've never seen a knife do that before, but you can see, trying to get rid of some of this, you can see how far in it's getting, and then it's rolling out. It could be because it gets really nice and thick here, so that hollow tip is probably biting in really well, and then it's getting thrust out because it expands so well. Speaking of, let's see. So this thing for $17.99, I don't know if that's getting in there. That's razor sharp. That's razor sharp. That is shave sharp. That is not so bad. Now remember, this is a cutting survival knife. This isn't a banging survival knife because it has a hollow grind, but we're still going to see what it can handle. Now this thing is going to be your get a fire going knife, and the best way to do it would be down here to strike with that area. It's going to be your processing knife, things like that, taking down game. That's what this knife is going to be. So let's get over here and see how it's going to cut, since cutting is going to be its mainframe here. Let's see. We're in the shot. Yeah, I think I'm too far back there. Okay, so here we go. Let's try and get a nice push cut. And the push cut, it lags a little bit at the tip, but it absolutely cuts through. So you can see on just a push cut alone, it's not just diving straight through the material, but with a little bit of push, it's obviously gonna slice. That edge is razor sharp, so it's just getting that blade angle to work with you. $17.99. I think it's gonna work just fine. So let's see. I have some. I have some of this packing plastic. I just want to see if we get a nice rip on that. I can't grab it, but I can still rip it. It's still cutting. I just have no place to grab on there. Let's see, here we go. We got the bungee cord. Let's see if we can't get a nice cut on the bungee. And I'm going to utilize that thumb ramp. And with a little bit of saw action, a little bit of back and forth. So you can push cut, boom, cut, slice, gone. And it's that fast, or you can do that, which takes about 1/100 of a second longer, and you get the full cut. $17.99 for two of them. And that's where your edge geometries are going to be worth the money, is you're getting two for $17.99. Let's see, the rip. That was so easy. Remember, this is a garden hose filled with rubber, nylon, all that jazz. Now let's see if we can get a clean cut. So we can get a rip, and you can see, like,
there's fibers there. So it's tearing at the rip, but still slicing at the same time. So where, like, if you're talking about a really fine, I've been using mine every day. This is my D-Bad Pocket Warrior, one of my designs, obviously. But even though I've been using it every day, you can see how really clean that cut is. That is superior clean. So the edge work is just way different. So this one, it frays a little bit. It doesn't cut as clean, but it's still doing the same cut. I'm still cutting the same material, going through the same stuff, going from a knife that's really sharp, a really sharp flat area in the grind to a really sharp hollow area in the grind. And that is a huge difference. So let's see, cutting straight through. And even so, with just one push and back, I'm still getting a complete cut. So for $17.99, you're getting two knives that with one extra motion is making the same cuts, is a more expensive knife on one motion. You know what I mean? I can take out a Jack Wolf Knives blade and do push cuts, all the way down. And the difference between this and this is that's it. That's the only difference. So for the price, and the other knives is going to be $300. You know what I mean? At Jack Wolf Knives, you're spending $300 more on a blade. So it's really nice to be able to know that you can get the job done in pretty much the same fashion. For $17, you get two of them. So if one goes dull on you, you just bring out the next one. So even with making nice tight little curls, and you do that a bunch of times, and you are getting yourself an immaculate fire nest. And that is going to work out really, really well. $17.99. What we want to do is try to see. Now we have the gut hook here, and wow, that really worked well. And I didn't have it on camera. So we have the gut hook here, and I'm using my left hand. Look at that. And it's made, obviously, the cut, the way it's ground is made for a righty. And that was absolute. Look how wonderfully thin that is. It held on. Normally when you're making a thin cut, it'll just break off. That held all the way through. Let's try the edge. And this is where that edge is going to shine, is going to be for game. So if you're a hunter or a fisher, if you're a hunter or a fisherman, and look at that, even with this, just the little processing. Remember, this is leather, rubber, mesh, going straight through. Just with all that, that's really decent. I have to say, this gut hook, oh, maybe it's a centered gut hook, so it works good both ways. I thought it was ground on one side. It's not, which is cool that they did that, because what a lot of people do is they wedge grind their gut hooks, and it makes it really useless for somebody on the offhand. This one is done evenly, so your cut is in the center. I really like that. I think that's very, very well done. You see that on more expensive knives. So for you to get two knives at $17.99, and one of them has a 50-50, a centered gut hook, that's pretty good. I have to say that you're getting, and the other one is a Tonto tip. So one of the good things about that too is, and a lot of people always ask, is when you're talking about self-defense, a Tonto, everybody knows, is a fighting knife first, but it's still going to work out great out here. This thing, you're getting a pair of blades, sub $20, that are going to work. This one's kind of like got this rhino look to it. Now that I really give it a good look at the profile, I have to say it works really, really well. For the price, it's outstanding. If you said, okay, $17.99 for one of them, I'd say, okay, that's fair. That's a fair price. But $17.99 and you get a pair of blades, that all of a sudden becomes a fantastic price. So I'll put the link down below so you can check them out. Definitely give it a look, especially for gifts. If you have especially like a young hunter or a young fisherman just starting out and they need to really learn the nuance of the blade and how to work it, this thing can come in handy. That gut hook works amazing. So I gotta say, winner chicken dinner right here. That's not so bad. Follow the link below. Check it out. I am Donnie B all day. Until next video.